Did we have any doubt in this process?
The OFF Festival is a really cool opportunity for us to pull away from the struggles of our industry and just have fun.
Our festival is a visual design festival, but it's more than that. It's some kind of a temple of creativity for all the creatives around the world.
We flew to Barcelona to get inspired, to understand the intricacies of this event, to understand the energy and feed off of it as much as possible so that when it met us in Tel Aviv, we would be ready, which we weren't.
The thing is to choose an agency that has this confidence to go out of the box.
We gathered together, we tried to figure it out. It was a long process and a lot of people were involved in it.
Yeah, I think it was a passion project for a lot of people in the office, so it was kind of challenging to find a way to gather all of our thoughts and kind of narrow it down to one specific, a whole idea.
We needed to find a unique concept that doesn't fall into the commonalities of design festivals, something unique, odd, mysterious, the unspoken side of the creative process.
Something that was really fun about working on the tone of voice and strategy for this brief was actually the making of the experience itself. What helped define the tone of voice for us was the manifesto, a moment where you really feel like all the things that are happening in your head have been put out loud and you're like, yes, we're talking about this thing. I think it's so important for us all to have that opportunity to go, fuck, let's speak like what's really going on and let's do this, let's have this conversation.
When I heard about the concept, I was really excited and eager to start.
I was the pessimist guy in the group. I thought to myself, well, good luck making that happen.
I actually hoped that the OFF team wouldn't approve the concept because, to be honest, I didn't know if we could pull it off.
Finally, we got a chance to talk about what's really important in life: disasters.
The stress, the failure, the imposter syndrome, even buggy crashes of computers and everything that was broken, we wanted to celebrate it. It's not every day you get to celebrate your fuck-ups.
I loved the festival's concept because I was like, wait, we're doing this thing? It's that time where you have all those voices in your head and you look around and you're like, yeah, we're saying this shit, let's put it out there. And it's so liberating. It's like you can exhale being like, fuck, that's how we feel.
To have this angle of talking about the failure and its part in the creative process is a different approach I don't think I thought about before.
I thought to myself, the world is already fucked up, so why wouldn't it work?
The visual style wasn't clear at the beginning, so we had a 3-day workshop with all of our designers to try to figure out what the OFF concept means.
And even after those 3 days, we didn't really have it. It was very, very stressful and we felt like time was running out and we didn't really have a clear vision of what we wanted to say. And then we realized that that's what we wanted to say.
We all addicted to something that takes the pain away.
So that's when we realized we actually had it.
The funny thing is, when we tried to make things work within one visual identity, things just felt lost. It didn't make sense, nothing worked.
So we had to kind of bring it to life, to find that very specific way to make a very messy, very stressful, very hectic environment feel still aesthetically pleasing and give it a personality. So that was a really challenging but rewarding process. We wanted the language to be very self-aware, so we thought of different scenarios that we struggle with in our day-to-day lives, and then we found ways to illustrate them in a very funny, down-to-earth way.
Everything we did was way too cool or way too pretty for an experience that was supposed to be pretty awful.
The most important thing was in the process to get everyone involved, so this is what makes it so unique.
So the role of the animation in this process was to take the massive load in the designer head and take all the vortex of the thoughts and put it in motion. How do you convey this moment in the head of the designer?
It took some time to understand how to recreate this frustration in a fun way.
The design language is both very structured and very free to incorporate. It felt very fluid, like it has no gravity, so it could have its own rules and just float in space.
Eventually, we built a language that celebrates anxiety, doubts, fears, mistakes.
It was a really hard process to narrow down everyone's ideas, to find connections between everyone's opinions of what it should be.
Sometimes we crashed, but in the end, all of us knew to take something from each person and then to make it together.
Knowing that the audience is like 1,400 pair of eyes of designers that are looking about everything and are very judgmental about everything. They are not gonna compromise on their experience. For us and also for the agency is something that always in our mind.
And by breaking the barriers of fear of failure and self-doubt, we realized that this is what you must go through in every creative process you have.
I love the brand that we created because no matter when it's revisited, it's always relevant.